know if I'm going live or not.
We're live.
Okay. Hi everyone. Sorry for the slight delay there. We were trying to figure out the setup. I hope everybody can see this close enough. Also be aware that I can also see any comments. If you guys have any questions, I'm just trying to finish getting it set up here. Because for whatever reason, it's like showing on my screen really tiny. Let me try. Oh yeah, there we go. That's better. Alrighty. I hope everybody can see this. I did post a picture in the event page. This picture so that you could trace it on the canvas already right away. Here is what we're going to be painting today. I find it helpful to have the picture next to you. That way you can have a reference photo to go back to while you're painting it. I just find it really helps, guide where everything's supposed to be. So you might want to have the picture next to you just to kind of help out painting it while we're doing this. But yeah, sorry, my allergies are like acting up. So we'll just get started. I usually start with like the background first. So I'm gonna start with the sky, and then I would do the grass. So go ahead and get some blue paint. And you might want some white paint as well, actually. And you're gonna paint that on your canvas, or wood, or paper, whatever it is you're using. I think it would be cool to paint this on wood, actually. But anyway, go ahead and take the paintbrush and some blue paint and paint it on there. Be careful not to overload it too much though, just because we don't want it to be too wet so it doesn't take as long to dry when we put the grass on. So I would be careful not to overload it too much. I'm putting in some white paint, to lighten up the blue a little bit. I feel like I'm kind of working upside down here, that way it's showing up right. I haven't quite figured out the proper setup yet, but I will get there. It just takes practice and knowledge and whatnot. I'm kind of a newbie to this stuff anyway. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good Saturday. It's crazy to me that May is already half over. Just doesn't seem real that it's already headed into summer, basically, especially with the warmer days that we've been having. I hope everybody's excited, to paint this with me. I really thank you for, joining me with doing this. I really like doing the Freebie with you guys. I get to share, my art and help others learn how to paint. I find art to be very therapeutic for me. It's what I did a lot in high school. And I find that it just kind of helps calm you down and bring your energy up and battle any negative thoughts and all. I don't know how to explain it, and I'm not really sure why. It's very relaxing and like art therapy, basically. I'm hoping to find that out, because I am hoping to go to school maybe for art therapy, so we'll see about that. And I would like to offer that, you know, to the community. We don't really have anything like that around here, actually. So I think that would be really cool to do. But yeah, by the way, if anybody have any question, you know, don't be scared. Say hi in the comments and ask any question, you know, in the comments. I am watching. And if you find that I'm moving too fast or you need a minute, you should be able to pause it and like resume where you left off. And if you missed me going live today, don't worry, because this video will still be available to watch, like a replay after the time, and it'll always be up. And I'll make sure I put it on my website too, that way you can see all that. Right now I'm just trying to paint the background in. You don't have to go all the way down. I'm just covering probably about halfway. That way, you know, it's low enough for any grass, but we don't want to go too low because it's going to get covered up anyway. I actually wait to put the cloud on until it's a little bit more dry. So right now I'm kind of just putting the blue paint on, and then I'll probably go back through with the white paint just to lighten it up in some areas and streak it through and all. It also kind of helps like give it a more like sky look, in my opinion, when you like go back through with the white and kind of just streak it through. It did not have to be perfect, and if you paint over the other stuff that you trace the design or whatever, that's totally okay. As long as you have like a basic, you know, go off of. You can pretty much use any brush you want for this. I'm just using a small angular brush because I don't really need to put any detail or anything in yet. So it's more like just filling it in, basically blocking it in. So that kind of brush for that would probably be an angular brush, or maybe even like a glaze wash brush. They're kind of like a rectangle brush. But yeah, that's pretty much the background. I'm going to let that dry before I put the clouds in and the grass. If you want to know a little secret to painting cloud while we're waiting for this to dry, I actually used a beauty blender. I know, weird as it sounds, but it's really not though if you think about it, because you use it to, you know, blend in makeup on your face, right? So it makes sense to use it for cloud because you're building on layers like you do with makeup. So I find this to be really helpful, painting cloud. You do not have to go this route if you don't want to. You can choose to do it different, like with paintbrush or with your fingers even. You do how you feel you want your cloud to look. So I'm going to go ahead and paint my cloud now because it's kind of already dry. So I just, you know, blot the beauty blender with white paint. And I kind of just dab it on the canvas. And like rub it around, smudge it in a little bit. Just to like really get in there. And when there's no paint left, I actually find that really good too, because then I can put in the like not so obvious layers of the cloud. And you can go back and, you know, and add more white layers if you want. It just takes time, like, you know. Just adding in the clouds. Eating up that last little bit of white paint left. Painting little random clouds throughout. Okay, I kind of like that. I'm just gonna go back in and add in a little more white just to make it look more like cloud. Just keep dabbing or smudging it in a little bit until you're happy with what you got. And that pretty much how you paint clouds. Pretty simple and easy. Anyone can do this, I believe. But yeah, what do you think so far, huh? I don't know how to see the comments on this. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do the cloud. So that's the background already. Very quick already. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the grass part. So I find the best brush to use for something like that would be like a round detail brush. I'll show you an example. There's a couple different sizes. So this one I have, it's a little bit on the bigger side. It's also getting a little worn out. But yeah, here's one of my detail brushes. See how it's like skinny and like a point on the end? That is called like a round brush or a detail brush. I also have a smaller size one, about this big. This one's one of my really tiny ones. This is good for like a really tiny detail. You probably can't even see it because it's so tiny. But yeah, that's what a round detail brush looks like, and it's really helpful for things that are more like pull rather than big wide block. Like if you're trying to do more like strokes, you know, and like thin strokes instead of filling stuff in, or even like the really tiny detail, like something that you see here, like the gnome hand or nose, stuff like that. But anyway, go ahead and we're gonna start on the grass. Go ahead and take your dark green paint. You're gonna need, whenever you're painting a painting, you want like typically what I do anyway is I do like 3 shades of each color just to give it more deftness to it. But you don't have to do that. If you want to just do one color, that's fine. But I usually prefer to go with 3. That way you have like a dark, medium, and light. And then you can even add in some white on top. But go ahead and take your darkest green paint. And your round detail brush. My cap is not closing for some reason. That's the one thing I don't like about tube paint. The caps are very stubborn. Anyway. I'm gonna take some dark green paint. And I'm just gonna kind of fill it in around the stuff that I traced out. And the nice thing about the round brush is you kind of push down on it and then let up. And then like create the little point, right? So it depends on the pressure that you're using. But for now, I'm gonna just fill in around their drawing with the dark green paint. And then I'll do like the actual the stroke with a different color after. Cause there's no sense in trying to do all the stroke cause it's gonna get changed anyway. So I find it better to just kind of fill it in first. When you get up to like into the sky, that's where you're gonna want to actually lift your brush off the canvas to create those points. Normally I would teach you how to draw, but I thought today we go a little more simpler and kind of just paint it. Sometimes you just want one of those days, that's just all chill and relaxing. So we're getting there on the grass. Just gonna turn around a little bit so I can see it better. So now I'm getting into the top, like the top part of it. Basically the drift for the grass. So it could kind of look like that so far. I typically let that dry up a little bit before painting more on it. But the next step would be to paint the medium green on it. And then the light green, and then maybe some white, like here and there occasionally. I'm going to get that. Okay. That shouldn't take too long. Just follow me on the live video and you'll find out when I'm done. I'm just getting my paint ready while I'm waiting for it to dry a little bit more. I'm not used to the same brush that I would use Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint my grass now. I'm going to use the same brush I was using, but if you'd rather use a smaller round brush, if that's easier for you, go for it. Whatever you feel comfortable with. So, like I said, we're going to start with a medium green. And you're kind of just going to do like random strokes, like in all different angles. You know, just kind of randomizing it, putting it in different places, going at different angles. Because when you look at grass, they're not all just straight up, right? So yeah, I'm just going in all different kinds of direction with the medium green paint. I made the medium green a little more subtle, so it's not too obvious, because the other colors is where it's gonna pop out more. So like I said, I'm just painting my medium green on there. So you can kind of see some subtle differences there, where it looked a bit lighter and darker, right? That's kind of what we're going for. Now I'm going to take my lighter green and kind of go back over it. And we don't want it, the goal is not to completely cover with one paint, you know, you're going to randomize it throughout. kind of my lighter green paint. That's what it should look like so far. And then while it's still wet, I'm actually gonna take some white paint and go back through. Cause it'll kind of blend in with the green. I'm trying to be careful to not go too far down the bottom there. Just because obviously the most lightest part would be like more up top, right? I always try to think of when I paint, like you're looking through the lens of a camera or your own eye, you know, how you view the world, and you see the lighter parts up top and then like the darker part near the bottom and all. So I kind of go based off of that when I'm painting. And that is pretty much your grass. Like, I hope you have fun painting that part. Like I said, it's all pretty simple, you know, and easy. It's just a matter of having like the right steps, you know, to how you're doing it. I'm actually gonna wait for that to dry, and then I put a couple of random strokes of white here and there. But like I said, I'm gonna wait for that to dry first. For now, I'm actually gonna paint the stalks of my flowers. And I'm actually starting with like my dark green for that. Because I'm actually gonna run through that with just white paint. So I'm skipping all the other green and just going straight to white. Just because I would like it, you know, to stand out a little more than the grass. Okay, so I'm letting that dry. And I'm just gonna go back through white and kind of just lighten it up a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to blend it in too much. That's kind of what you should get so far. Still kind of waiting on the grass to dry, so while we're waiting for the grass to dry, we'll just go ahead and paint the flower. I'm going to start up here, away from the grass. That way it gives the grass just a little more time around the edges of the flower to dry. So for now, we're just going to start up here. I start with like the darkest paint color first, and then I kind of added on layers there. If I can't reach, for whatever reason, I put the paint so far away from me. Anyway, go ahead and get all your paint on your palette if you haven't already. Can anybody tell me, how you make paint? It can be done in multiple ways, actually. There's a couple different ways that you can go about. The most common one is actually lightning red. And it depends on your shade of paint that you want to go for. You can always either add a little purple, or you could add some orange, and that'll give you a coral color. I'm not sure what happened to my big paintbrush that I was just using. Oh, there it is. It was like buried underneath. But yeah, go ahead and get all your paint colors down on your palette, because we're gonna actually be using them as we go. So right now I'm just getting my paint ready. Looks like it's gonna storm today. I hope it doesn't. I'm kind of over the rainy, dreary weather. It needs to be sunshine and sunny, right? What did anybody have any plan for today other than this? I know right now we're not remodeling, just kind of fixing it up a little bit, because we're actually getting ready to sell our house. Moving down the road, just so that we have a little more space, especially for me. My husband talked a lot about how my art takes up all the space. So he thought that I need, an art studio of my own space, right? Anyway, go ahead and take your pink, and you're gonna fill in the flower petals. I'm not sure why I used a big brush. So for this one, I'm actually gonna use a little bit smaller brush to fill in this paint. let that one dry a little bit before I put some more paint on it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other flower quick. Speak up, you know, if you feel like I'm not talking enough or if I'm talking too much. I'm not really like, I mean, according to like this website online, I'm kind of an introvert. So this is actually stepping a bit out of my comfort zone. But at the same time, I enjoy doing this. Is anybody else like kind of an introvert or homebody here? I need to have some music playing in the background, huh? I feel like having some music with that, like, you know, the vibe. What do you guys think? Should I just start playing music on the TV? Okay, so that's all the pink right now. Looks like I actually missed a tiny little spot of the grass. I didn't realize it. Anyway. But yeah, that is the dark layer paint. I'm gonna go back to the first flower that I was working on. It's still a little wet, but it's not completely wet or dry either. And I'm kind of just gonna streak it through a little bit. I'm not gonna put my brush down the whole time because I don't actually want to blend it in at all. I want to just keep it streaky. So I'm keeping my brush real light. Because like I said, I'm being careful to not blend it in too much. Because you know how when you look at the comb flower, it has like these little lines through the petals. I guess that's kind of what we're trying to recreate, sort of, but I just like that style myself. I'm just turning it around a little bit just so that I can see. I'm pretty sure I can actually, like, flip the camera around, that way it's showing what I actually see, but I'm not really sure how to do that yet. If anybody have any suggestion on that, please help. Because I would love to keep doing it for you guys. Just working in steps here. Taking my medium pink and just streaking it through. You should start to kind of see it pulling together even more now. And now I'm just gonna take my light pink and go back up here to the first flower. I feel like it's really coming along. And then once that actually completely dries, I actually go back through and put in some white as well. But I'm waiting until I get the other stuff done first. actually using my smaller detail brush. Okay, that's pretty much it for now with the flowers until it dried. You know, we add some white in there. So the next step would be, what do you think the next step would be in this situation? We're actually gonna do the center part of the flowers now, the bulb, or what do you call them? And we're actually gonna start with a brown color first. If you don't have brown, like I do, I don't have any brown right now. You can actually make your own by putting complementary colors together. So for example, complementary colors would be red and green. They complement each other, right? They look good together. Or blue and orange, yellow and purple. They will all make brown for you. I'm just going back through a little bit and touching it up with my flowers. I just want to add some more dark back in there. Just to kind of like separate it a little more, give it some more depth. But some of the petals over here kind of got merged together. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and actually do the brown part of the cauliflower. So I actually don't have any brown paint right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and mix some green and red together. Okay, so I have my brown paint. And I'm gonna use my smaller brush for this. But you're just gonna make small little strokes upward. Like start at the bottom and just do little strokes. So you don't fill in the whole space with brown paint, of course, but you wanna end like a stroke. And you're just gonna do that with all of them. Okay, that's the dark, that's the brown part. Now you're gonna need some orange. So, you know how we fill in that whole space with brown paint? You're not going to be doing that. We're going to do more like little bits here and there with the orange paint. So go ahead and take some orange paint. And instead of filling in the whole way or going a long way down, you're just gonna start at the top now instead and make little strokes here and there. Because like I said, you don't want to fill in the whole area. You want to make it look more like cone, you know, and have more depth to it. I'm intentionally like kind of making it darker if they go down more, because it's always going to be, you know, lighter up top, and then it gets darker, things go further down, so it makes sense, right? So that's that. Now you need some yellow paint. Probably have to let that dry for a little bit. So I'm just gonna do like the bee for now. So I got my yellow paint. I'm gonna fill in what I'm going to be filled in with the yellow paint. And then I'll do the same thing down here. So that's the bees. You know, the bees. I think the orange, no, my orange is actually kind of dry now, so I'm going to go back through with the yellow paint. And we're not going to go all the way down with the orange, instead just the top part of each orange. the corn flour for you. So now I'm going to be doing the orange paint on the butterfly here, because I'm letting the corn flour up here dry before I can do the gnome. So I'm just going ahead and working on the butterfly while I'm waiting. The whole key here is to kind of work in layers, you know, and work around what you think you could do. Like, so I'm just gonna go ahead and paint the butterfly. Like I said, we're waiting the other to dry. We're already almost done. Okay. So that's the orange part of the butterfly. Should be like mostly dry up here by now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start the gnome then. I'm just kind of getting a little bit darker orange. Because like I said, we kind of always start with the darkest part first whenever you're painting anything, because that's always, like when you look at something, you know how it's always in the back, behind things, and the lightest part up front. So that's why we always start with the darkest part first, and then you add on to it. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start painting my gnome. You're definitely gonna want your like smallest, thinnest detail brush as possible for this one. wait for that to dry, and we're gonna do the little pot. I'm gonna call it a honey pot. So we're actually almost done. Like we just have the black to go and highlighting the orange part a little more and adding some white in, and we're pretty much done then. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I'm just waiting for it to dry just a little more. While I'm waiting for that, I need my black. So I'm gonna get my black paint. Maybe start on the gnome beard just a little bit. So I'm gonna take just a tiny amount of black paint. I mixed it a little bit with white. To make a grayish color. Okay. So you should have a grayish color, and we'll go ahead and fill in the beard and the bee wings a little bit. I'm gonna like do little streaks throughout. You don't have to do this part if you rather just keep it a solid white, that's fine. This is just to add a little more detail to the beard, give it more depth. You don't even have to have a white beard, like make it whatever color you feel like you want to do. So I'm adding some gray to the wing now. That way there's a little bit of shadow in there, and then we go back over it with some white. Same thing with the bee wing. Same thing with like the little honey pot area. You don't have to fill it all in, you know, just like a little touching of it. Okay, so we have the wing part of the bee. I'm gonna take some brown paint and do the gnome too. That's so cute. What do you guys think? How's it turning out so far? my brown paint on there, so now I'm gonna go ahead and lighten up that orange on the gnome. So I'm just gonna take my regular orange now and just lighten it up. I'm kind of just doing like the top of each part. That's pretty much your light orange there. I'm adding some yellow. Not like a ton, just a little bit. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the butterfly orange. Okay, I think we're ready to do the black part now and then the white, and that's pretty much all done. I'm actually going to start with the butterfly first because we're actually going to be putting white dots on them, so we're going to go ahead and do the black part of the butterfly. This is where like the tiny detail round brush would come in. Can't believe we're already so close to being done. Oh, made an oopsie. That's kind of what happened when you try to paint upside down. It's all good because I was able to wipe it off right away. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and fill in the bee quick. I'm gonna do the hat now. Usually when I do a painting, it takes like 3 hours. Sometimes it really depends on the painting. Can't believe how cute it's coming out. Okay, so now I'm gonna do all the white. I'm assuming the black is probably still drying. It looks like it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the white on the other stuff. So like the beer, for example. And the wind. I'm still kind of waiting for everything else to dry, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the gnome hand and nose. Which you can either do pink or even maybe orange, and you just take white to it, and it'll give you like skin color. Or even like both orange and pink. I'm just gonna put the finishing touches. The black is still wet. So I'm just gonna add the white finishing touches, everything. It'll help make everything pop. Kind of using a method called dry brushing. I'm just adding a little white stroke to each thing. That makes sense to me. Basically, like add and highlight. I'm just gonna add a tiny little white tip to each needle of the cornflower. I think these are cornflower. I think all that's left really is the grass and butterfly. Okay, well now it's time to finish up the butterfly and we are pretty much all set. So with the butterfly, you're just adding little dots. and I hope that you had a lot of fun painting this. Here's my original over here, just to compare side by side. Try to get it close as possible. Looks like this one's slightly darker, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you had a lot of fun. Please share your work, either in the comment below or maybe on the event page. You are allowed to post on the event page. If you tag me on Facebook, make sure that you post it public, otherwise I can't really see it. You can use the hashtag @BirdieArtStudio. But like I said again, if you make a Facebook post, it has to be public so that I would be able to see it. Otherwise, please share your work. I would really love to see it. You can share it in the comments or on a Facebook event page, however you like. Or if you even want to just send it to me privately, message, I'm okay with that too. Because again, I would love to see how yours came out. What do you guys think about me giving one away as a freebie, like a giveaway, or maybe doing prints on these? So yeah, just share your thoughts. If you have any questions, you can ask them as well, whether in the comments or in Messenger. You know, don't feel afraid to reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. And also don't forget to check out our other painting classes. And if you have any suggestion for what June freebie tutorial should be, reach out to me. I'm open to any suggestion anybody might have. It doesn't even have to be a canvas paper. It can be anything really. Like I said, I'm open. Otherwise, I hope you had a lot of fun. And it was great to see you and have you join me. I hope you have a great Saturday. Bye.